effective ELT settings towards purposeful education. We start this presentation by asking a simple question. Who are the main actors in ELT? We have teachers, learners, and language. The three of them embedded in a context, that is, the specific situation in which learners, teachers, and language are involved in order to promote learning. Context determines the roles of teachers, learners, and language according to a specific place, right? Let's start by describing the characteristics of each of them. So let's go with teachers. Who are teachers? Teachers are people who create learning environments. They design activities to promote learning. Teachers are people who have different views about teaching and learning. Teachers are people who teach in order to learn twice, according to Joseph Joubert. Teachers and learners learn from each other. Teachers are people whose main concern is educating in both values, which are necessary for life, and also competences in different subjects or areas of knowledge. Teachers are people who have a good grasp of the subject they are teaching and who are getting qualifications continuously. ELT classrooms place lots of demands on teachers. Every day they face challenging situations and they must be prepared for that. So preparation is very, very important. Now, who are learners? Learners are children, adolescents, and adults according to the age. According to the age, learners have different attitudes toward learning. For instance, children are more likely to take risks when speaking, while adults, they need more preparation for that. They are afraid of making mistakes. Learners are people who have different learning styles, of course, and who have developed multiple intelligences at different levels. Let's talk about Howard Gardner, and let's see this picture in which the multiple intelligences are almost complete. Visual learning by seeing, musical learning by listening, verbal learning by talking, social learning by interacting, logical learning by using space and figures, physical, getting involved in situations, and also intrapersonal intelligence. According to Howard Gardner, teachers must take into account all those intelligences in order to promote whole development in their learners. That's why that's important. Well, learners are also people who have rights. They deserve respect and appropriate guidance. The ones who need to acquire the language to satisfy specific needs. Some of them may need it to travel abroad. They may need English for getting a better salary or because it is trendy, different reasons. And learners are also subjects of emotion. You see this E of emotions. In your classroom you will find different kinds of emotions that people have, and you need to promote a safe environment because they have affective needs. Remember Krashen's hypothesis of the affective filter. Promote comfortable situations in the classroom. Okay? Well, what is language? Language is described here according to 2 points of view. Okay? The first point of view is linguistics. Okay? And the second one is clear and communicative approaches. The methods of teaching English that are in vogue these days. For linguistics, language is living beings' communication tool and an object of research and learning, right? Whereas for Cleel, language is the knowledge entrance door. That is, you can use English to teach other areas, to teach mathematics, to teach science, to teach social studies. Okay, but how do we address the issues of teachers, learners, and language? Okay, let me give you a hand. We have 3 important aspects: lesson planning, testing, and getting qualifications. Okay, why is lesson planning important? Let's see. Lesson planning is a vital process through which an educator defines goals of learning. he defines them, designs activities to accomplish them, thinks about the needs of students and the school community in a specific context. It also deals with the development of writing, listening, speaking, reading, and grammar skills, and the development of multiple intelligences, also including social interaction and a variety of resources for teaching and accomplishing learning. Okay, now we have testing. What is testing? We have a definition here. It is a very important tool that educators use in order to check or measure learners' abilities or progress in a specific domain. Okay, that's testing. What are the characteristics of a test? A test must be valid. You design questions that are consistent with what you are going to evaluate, right? They must be coherent with your purpose. Also, reliability, right? That your test can be applied in different settings and you can get consistent results. And finally, the test must be practical. That is, during the application, take into account that it doesn't take a lot of resources, or when you are going to grade it, right? Design a test that is not so time consuming. Okay? And well, to apply a test, you need to have a free anxiety environment, environment, and an appropriate procedure, right? The procedure has 3 steps. Let's see this picture, this diagram. We need clear instructions. We need, well, the application part, and the third stage is feedback. In the clear instructions part, you have to make students understand what they have to do in the test, right? The application refers to how they use their time, that you take into account a realistic pace for the application. And finally, we have feedback. After you grade the exams, students need to know what their goals were and what their chances of improvement are. Remember, chances of improvement in feedback. Okay? And well, we have now getting qualifications. Teachers never stop learning. In these days, there is a very important part, technology use, right? In order to approach technology use, take into account these recommendations. First, are you going to use technology in or out of the classroom? If it is in, you need lots of resources in your school. Well, computer, video beams, access to the internet. Remember that. And if it is going to be out of the classroom, learners need to have access to the internet. Okay? Now, roles of e-moderators. Example, you are in a forum and your students are giving too many opinions. You have set a topic, but they deviated. How are you going to make them go back to the conversation? You have to have those abilities, right? Anticipating problems. Well, if the video beam doesn't work, what's my plan B? Take into account that. Cross-curricular demands. Well, learners also need to learn how to use technology. So in your class you have to face 2 kinds of demands. The demands of learning a language and the demands of learning how to use technology. Right? Time constraints. Be realistic. How much time are you and your students going to devote to the development of activities? And finally, the assessment criteria. How are you going to value your students' work? Their participation and all that. Well, those were the items I wanted to present. Thank you for your time. I hope this has been useful for you. Okay?